who knows what can happen, right? So before the Black Ops turn up in their time machine, or pop in from a parallel subspace, they open up a portal and rip open the fabric of space-time and jump in and erase me from the timeline. Perhaps I should. Damn, how they erased my beret from the timeline. Okay. Bastards. Oh well. No worries, I got another beret. It's okay. So, before that happens, let me explain the difference between two different thought processes here, two different ways that the mind can work, two different ways. This is the way our mind usually works, and this is a more efficient way of using the mind for some applications. So normally, actually, this is two different ways of, let's call it arch forms. I think we could call them two different types of energy archetypes. Two different ways that energy can exist, propagate from point A to point B, or affect something at a distance, with nothing in between. So action at a distance with with nothing in between. First way, this is kind of a linear way. These dots here are representing thoughts or ideas. Basically thoughts, ideas, an aspect of awareness is each of these. So normally we go from one thing, and then we need to, because our mind is kind of stuck in this past, future, present kind of idea, cycle, construct. So that's why that's why our minds are thinking like this. We'll think, so A happened, and now we're at B, and then now what is C? So it's kind of like that. You could kind of think, if I put like A in the beginning, and then B in the middle, and then C in the end. A, B, C, beginning, middle, and end. And it's kind of how our brain works at any given point in time. If we're asked to find the solution to a problem, or if we're faced in some sort of emergency, or any time, it doesn't matter. This is more or less how the brain is going to work when it's in a theta. I believe this is theta, roughly theta brainwaves. And down here we would probably have more like alpha, kind of alpha brainwaves, beta or alpha brainwaves, and even deeper down than that it'll get to to delta. So in here, we got sort of theta brainwaves. Kind of, this is normal alert consciousness. Like if you're watching this video, your brainwaves are going to be in theta, because it's the energy is going into your intellectual kind of mind, your intellectual processing. I would be called like the RAM disk of the brain, and of course that consumes energy. And when energy is discharged and consumed, it will emit a frequency, or it'll emit a waveform. And so there'll be I haven't drawn the waveform. There's a lot of other details here, but there'll also be a waveform, a theta kind of waveform up here, because energy is being consumed and discharged at a certain rate, at certain intervals, at certain rhythm, and then that will produce a certain, I guess, almost like a musical tone, like a waveform. It'll produce that up here, but it'll be a linear theta brainwave. Normal waking consciousness, it'll be linear. It'll be A, B, C, and like when you're thinking, normally here it's difficult because you're thinking, okay, so now he's telling now I've watched the first 2 minutes of this video, and then that was the beginning, and now I'm waiting for the middle, and then what's going to be after the middle? It's going to be the end, and how are they related? And you're thinking in a very linear way, because you're operating in theta brainwaves right now. But what's happening down here is in a more of a sort of getting near a meditative state. But you can do that. You can operate your brain something like this even in waking consciousness, like now, because I've done some meditation training, so I can use my brain in a little bit of a more way like that. And this what I'm, even just by making this video, by attempting to explain this, I am, I'm training. I'm actually training, doing some sort of training. It's kind of a training method that I'm doing, part of it, for me to reflect on and find out how to improve at the best possible rate. Right. So it's kind of idea, and then it moves to the next one, and then or thought, and then the next thought, and then the next thought, and the next thought, and then eventually this could be, for example, a problem and then solution also. So kind of beginning, middle, end, A, B, C, and then problem, solution. Our mind's got to go through a certain stages to process something to find the solution to some problem. And down here it's really different. There's no time. There kind of is, but it's different. So you just have, instead of so we have problem and solution, and then we have some steps in between. The mind is basically, the neurons are making other different kind of connections, and then it's doing that, and then but it's like, and then, right? But down here, everything is just all over the brain at the same time. So by allowing your awareness to basically absorb into one process, could even be the process of emptiness, in which case you're getting deeper to basically something like this, but this kind of more top secret black ops kind of things. Or, okay, maybe that's not a good example. Kind of can be, but okay, you can say yoga, ninjutsu, or just meditation, Vedic knowledge, Taoist knowledge, something, call it some higher scholarly thing. Yeah, it's not necessarily just a black ops kind of weapon or clandestine kind of thing, but no, there's actually quite a high thing. But it can be used for clandestine purposes though, so just be aware of that. But this is, this is what we're aiming for. This is the way to really be quite efficient with the brain,